something on it. My wrist is stopped again. Take two. This is actually take two. I started this already, all went a bit Pete-tong, there was bits going everywhere, things fell off the bike when I was sitting on the seat, and you wouldn't believe it. This is my new hat. What do you reckon? I reckon by the time it sort of, you know, relaxes, it needs a bit of a wash, I think, sometime, or a bit of loosening up, but I think that'll be me. At the minute it's still a bit boxed, you know, still a bit boxed in. But yeah, that'll do me. Right, Googles. Tea, forgot my tea the first time I came in here. Oh, here's looking at you. Hope you're alright, Jack. Here's to you, boys. Hope you're all keeping well. Hope you're all keeping fine and tickety boo. As you will or will not know, I had my MRI on Tuesday. I had my MRI on Tuesday, so that's why this is late this week, because I just never had the energy yesterday. Car journeys just rip it out of me. I'm no good after a car journey. I just ain't. I can't do anything. Anyway, on to this video. Right, can you hear that? That is metal. It's steel. It's pressed steel. Now that's unusual in the top box. I call them a top box. In America you call that a trunk, understandably, because it goes on the back of the vehicle, but in England we call them top boxes, because they are the box that goes on the top, I suppose. Anyway, for all you guys out there that say it's a Harley Davidson, you have to put on the proper tour pack for it or the proper trunk for it and all this game. No. They cost a fortune. They cost a fortune for people like me that haven't got 2 pennies to rub together. Now that was, I think it was about 35 quid. And like I said, it's metal, it's pressed steel. It ain't plastic. I looked at one that was plastic. It was meant to be the make pretend Harley tour pack. I don't know why I'm leaning in like this. It meant to be the make pretend tour pack for Harley. It was going to be about, do you know, I can't remember. I think double the price of that. But it was plastic, and it had plastic hinges. And I don't know about you, but I don't like plastic hinges. I'm an old-fashioned kind of guy, and I like things made out of metal. I mean, even these side panniers, they're like fiberglass, but they're not plastic. I think new ones are plastic, and I don't like plastic. Breaks too easy. and it's not easy to repair. Now this, the only problem that's going to go along with that is rust, and rust is treatable and repairable, so I'm happy with that. Now size wise, we'll go over the size in a minute, but there were a couple of things that I had to do to change it when I got it, because it comes as it says, it comes with a backrest. It comes with a backrest, so you ain't got to do anything with it. You just bolt it to your bike, whatever rack you've got. Now I've got a rack on there. It comes with some like bars to clamp it all down, clamping bars. It comes with the clamping bars. It comes with the nuts and the bolts and everything. Well, I changed the bolts and I changed the nuts. I went for longer bolts because of the rack I've got, and I went for locking nuts as opposed to the nuts they give you, which were just standard I think M6 nuts, which, as you know, they will rattle loose, especially on a Harley where everything rattles, you know, like it does. So I changed those out for lock nuts, and I'm happy with that. I put washers in. It didn't come with big enough washers, so I've put bigger washers on them, so it gives you more support, and I'm happy with what it is. I've not bolted it down yet. I've done the lining up process. I'm happy where it is. I will be bolting it down. Now then, the other thing was, well, I got it off of a well-known auction site. I'll leave you to eBay. Excuse me. Yeah, here's to you, Jack, and here's to you, Brian, here's to you, guys, Kev, the rest of you, here's to you. Thanks for coming on board, thanks for joining me in the shed, thanks for clicking on this video. I still don't know what I'm going to call the video, but anyway, alternative tour pack, maybe. Yeah, it came with the, when you look at a picture of it, it had a backrest to it. Now when you look at the picture, it looks like it was a soft, you know, spongy kind of backrest. Well, that's something else I had to change, because it came with that. Now that, you know, if you look at it, you think, oh yeah, if you looked at that against there, you'd say, oh yeah, that's a soft, comfy backrest. Well, it ain't. It's hollow plastic, and it's rock hard hollow plastic. So what I did was, I had this one anyway. It was from a project I was doing ages and ages ago. It's a backrest that was going to go on, and I can see the sissy bar from here, I think. No, I can't. Yes, I can. It was going to go on this, which was going to go on the back of my bike, but it would have meant for the frame I've got, and because I can't afford to buy things for hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Well, people say, well, why'd you buy an Harley then? Well, you know, I liked it and I wanted to buy it. I've always wanted one, so I bought one. Anyway, but to make this fit on what I've got, I'd have had to shape that like that. I'd have to take a bit out of there. I'd already drilled an extra hole there, and it was just a ball ache. It really was. And when I actually look at it, it wouldn't have looked right anyway. So it would have meant that when you put the backrest on it, it would have been too far forward, so I couldn't do that. Yeah, so that left me with that. I did have another one. There you go. Which is this, and this, believe it or not, is a back seat. Yeah, that comes with, you know, it's the most ridiculous idea. but it's a temporary backrest if you've got a hardtail. And I used to have a hardtail, as you all do know, whatever. And it comes with little suckers, and this big sucker bought it. But I thought, well, I'll tell you what, I'll put that on there. But on that side, looks great. But on the other side, it just looked ridiculous. It really did. It looked stupid. I mean, it looked really, really stupid. So that weren't going on there either. Stay. Right, so anyway, I opted for that, and that is going to be a comfy bumpy backrest for whoever sits on the back. Yeah. Right, so that's that. I mean, that's where I am now. Now then, the size, they all come in. When you look at these things, they all come in literage. Like this was 48 litres, and it's about a volume. It's about the volume of how much these things can hold. 48 litres, you know, and all that game. I was looking for a large one. The large one was about 52, 56, something like that litres, but it really didn't suit the bike. You know, it really didn't suit the bike. It's plasticky and it looked cheap. It looked nasty. It had these dodgy reflectors at the back, and it just looked horrible. Whereas I don't think that looks too bad. When it's on the bike, it don't look too bad. I'm happy with it. I do intend to get a rack for the top of it, and again, because it's steel, I'm confident that this will take the weight of a rack on the top of it. Now I've seen some for about 25, 28 quid, something like that, on the same well-known auction site. Yeah, so there you go. Anyway, right, side. Now then, let's put this away. What I used to have, or what I did have, when I took my trip last year, sorry if I'm rubbing up against the microphone. Am I rubbing up against the microphone? No. Yeah, when I took my trip last year, I had a pack. I had a pack on the back. I don't know if you can remember it. You'll have to go back a few episodes. But I pack on the back, and what I did was, because it was made of faux leather. I bought it second hand off of Facebook Marketplace for 20 quid, and it was made of faux leather, and it really did do the job. I was really pleased with it. It was certainly big enough for what I wanted. The problem with it was kind of tall instead of flat and wide, which is what this is. I'll tell you, what I've done was, because it was made of faux leather, I thought if you put anything on top of it, if it ain't full up, it's going to collapse, isn't it? Because the integrity of the faux leather will just collapse under it, because if you've got a weight on top, blah, 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 blah. So what I did was, I made this box. And this box, they're the holes that are used for clamping. But I made this box, and that's what I mean about the height. So I'll put this next to that in some way. There you go. Now if you take, the bottom of that is there and the bottom of that is there, so they're about the same height, which I'm happy with. Let's see if I can put it next to each other. Maybe the box is about an inch taller, and width wise, I'll have to stand up so I ain't got a cloak. Width wise, they're about the same width, and that's where it ends, because diameter wise, you can see or you can't see, but the box, the metal box, is wider, so you're getting more in it. One of the problems I had was, throw that down there, have drinks of tea. One of the problems I had was that when you put something in the bottom, invariably it's what you want, isn't it? You know, even if you pack it like you want to get to the top first and blah blah blah, you're going to come across a situation where you need something at the bottom. And it just seemed too cramped. It wasn't for me. I'm really glad I had it. I wouldn't have done the journey without it, but I needed something better. Hence, old iron tin here. Iron tin? No. Old iron bucket. Right. You can see there that I ain't bolted it down. It's got the bolts through it. It's ready to bolt down. I just haven't done the final bit yet. I think I was doing it last night and I got called away to have dinner or something. Do I look like the kind of guy that needs dinner? Do I? Anyway, so that's where we are with that. I'll be bolting that down today, but I can show you the inside. I can show you the latches. I can show you everything about it right now. Now, I don't know how much of this you can see. Let's just get rid of this for a bit. Right, sorry about that. Right, the latches are... Yes, got to be careful of that crowbar. Right, the latches are normal. You ain't going to be able to see them, are you? Bugger. Right, I'll have to bring you up. Right, stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Right, there we go. The latches are that type of latch. Do you know, like the what are they called? I don't know what they're called. I don't know what they're called, but they're kind of I don't know if you can see them or not, but they're that sort of thing. Yeah, the old, I don't know what they're called, but it's them. And that catches in that, or that catches in that, and away you go. The lock itself it's not very good, Ed, is it? It's not very good. I ain't got the light, that's the trouble. It's all going wrong, guys, it's all going wrong. The lock itself is a barrel lock, and that comes with 2 keys, and they're the bars that it comes with. Now, the other thing I've done was I put kind of a foam layer underneath it. I did that because I didn't want metal sitting on metal, if you know what I mean. I didn't want metal sitting on metal. If I'll set you down there. Yeah, I didn't want metal sitting on metal because I didn't like the idea of that. So I'll sit down. You can go there. I can go here. I'll talk to you about these in a minute. Oh, old barra boy now, look. Oh, I can't sit on that. Granddad's box. Yes. All going incredibly well, isn't it? Right. Yeah, I didn't want metal on metal. I didn't want that. So I thought, right, I'll put a thin layer of foam in there, and that will be enough. Just to cushion, if you like, cushion the impact when you tighten it down. I don't like metal on metal surfaces ever. I really, really don't. Bring you over. I'll show you my shed in a minute. It's a right tip. I mean, it's not a shed, it's a skip at the minute. I've done so much moving around, and yeah, just moving around here and there. I had the water leakage. Do you remember I had the problem with the water ingress on the beams, and well, anyway, that stopped. As soon as I cut the ends off the noggins, that stopped. As soon as I cut the ends off them beams, I've had no more water ingress since then. That to me is a success, which is nice because you need a success every now and again. Right, now then, you hold that. Where was I? Oh yeah. Yes, I'm happy with that. It also comes with lockable stays. All right, they're not lockable, but they're locking stays. So when the lid's fully open, it doesn't slam shut on you when the wind blows. I'm really happy. I really am. It's got a waterproof thing all the way around it. I'm really happy. I'm not going to keep talking about it because I'm just happy. Oh, this is the stuff. This is the stuff that I put in between it. You know, the kind of it's the stuff you get in packages and shit like that. So yeah, but that's the stuff I used. If ever you get a package with that stuff in it, never throw this away. It's always handy for something. Same as the polystyrene. Keep the polystyrene because it's really handy. If you've got something that you want to hold in place and keep it steady, polystyrene is your key there. I'll show that to you on a later date, but that's the key for that one. Right, camera's a bit... Anyway. Right, that's what I'm doing with that. I'll bring you back when that's all done. We're up to 20 minutes now, so I'll leave that. I've talked about that enough. I've got a shed heater. It's actually a garden light, but it's got a kind of a Trangia type flame burner in there. That gets really hot. It warms the outside, and I'll tell you what, warms this shed up in no time at all, hombre. Right. Now, I don't know if you get these in America or wherever else you're watching this from, but over in the UK, we get these. Right, now then, this one's against breast cancer. Pick it up on Wednesday. This one is for the air ambulance. Pick it up on Friday. This one is for Sky Cycle Clothing Collection Helpline, whatever. And this is Monday. And this one is help support premature babies or sick, born premature or sick babies. And that's Thursday, so that's kind of the week covers. Only Tuesday you got a day off. My opinion is, unless anybody can prove me otherwise, my opinion is these are bullshit. They are bullshit. I'm going to call them for what they are. I should have made another video about this, ranting about it. But these are rubbish bags. That's all they are. I open one for you. My ex-wife used to work for, do you know what, I should make this another video, I really should, because it's a rant, it's a right rant. What you get inside is you get a bag. You get a bag, you've all seen these, I'm sure you've all seen them. You get a bag, so big, it should have holes in it, so that cats or dogs or mice or whatever, but it hasn't. Yes, it has. I'm telling porkies, it has got holes in the bottom. It's perforated at the bottom. Right, well, this is what they are. I'll tell you what I use them for. I use them as rubbish bags, because that's what these bags represent. They don't go to the ambulance. They don't go to the sick kids. They don't go to where you're thinking they're going. They really, really don't. Get angry about it, because these people, they climb on the back of goodwill. They climb on the back of the people with goodwill, and they start ripping at them. You know, it grinds me. My ex-wife, bless her, you know, she was good to me. Oh, bless her. My ex-wife used to do a clothing stall at a market near here a couple of times a week. And where she used to get her clothes from was exactly the place where these go. They go to a big holding centre, all the bags go onto a pile, and they're all sorted. They're all sorted into good, bad, ugly. Rags are over one side, And the rags go to industrial places as rags. There are stuff they can't use and they're thrown away. All the good gear is thrown on a pile. And when you go to a market, when you see second-hand clothes, that's where it come from. It come from the people like you and me who get this shit through the door and who put our clothes in there. And if you've got good clobber, like I ain't, that good clobber ends up on a market stall. Now they pay for it by weight. So, you know, like people like the ex-wife and the neighbour that was at the time and the friend that did it at the time. You get a bundle of clothes in a bag or whatever they've done, they put it on scales and they pay for it by weight. And then the girls will take it home, wash them, iron them, put them on a hanger with a cellophane wrapper over it, take it down the market and sell it to you guys for an exorbitant fee compared to what it cost. That's all I'm saying about it. Now, if you could prove me wrong, then yeah. I mean, like football shirts, you know, you see all the films on the telly, like the Goodwill films on the telly where the football shirts are worn by all these people in Africa and whatever. Yeah, well, they don't sell on market stalls. Nobody sells them. They're deemed as rubbish. So they go off by the container load to Africa and wherever else. And then they're sold or given away to all the kids and the people there. But all the good gear ends up at a market stall and it ends up in your house again because you're buying what somebody else has thrown away. Just saying. Right, that'll do it for me. That'll do it for me. I've had a rant, I've had a sort out, whatever. It's gone time. Right, cheers guys for tuning in. Thanks very much for clicking on this video. I want to try and build this channel up as much as I can this year. It's a hobby that I've decided to do, so I want to start, you know, building it up. It ain't like for money. No one does this for money. So yeah, let's build the channel up. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your family's friends, tell everyone about it. You know, like the bloke that used to deliver milk but still does, even though you move 30 miles away. Him. Yeah, let's build it together. And like I said, if there's anything that you guys want me to bring up as far as camping, motorcycling, whatever, then let me know. Just drop me a line in the comments and I'll bring it up. I'll sort it out. One thing before I go, let me just I was going to do a thing about apps for as a sat nav apps. What's the word? Anyway, I downloaded that many and I still haven't had time to go all the way through them. There's a couple on there that are familiar, but there's a few on there that I've never heard of, but they come highly recommended. They've got, you know, a few stars next to them. So I'm going to go through this lot when I've got less time, and then we'll do a video about that one day. Alright, okay, that'll do. Thanks guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, thanks for paying attention, and like I said, if I'm wrong about this, let me know. But I want proof. I want proof. I know what I used to see because I used to up the wife with it. Ex-wife. But yeah, I'll go over that heater thing at another time and I'll show you that in action. I'll even try and get a temperature on it somehow. I ain't got a thermostat, but anyway. You know these people that got them guns, don't they? They go, oh, they fire it from 30 yards. Yes, that's 32 degrees. And now, oh, yeah, whatever. Right, cheers guys. I'll see you later. You take care. The temperature's coming down in England. It's wet, it's windy, it's horrible. It's very autumnal it's very spring-like really. It's very spring-like for this country, England, and all that. As far as tips go, it might be a tip tomorrow, I'm not sure. Got to think, but I've got one in mind, but I'll see how it goes. Anyway, right, thanks very much. Thanks to all of you guys. Thanks very much for tuning in, and I'll be back soon from the shed, which is this place. But while I go, I'll just swing you around so you can see the kind of mess that I'm in. Looks like I got a lot to do.